Hello, everyone. I thought I would talk to you about writing hypocritical characters. Now, hypocritical characters are probably the most difficult characters to write because they're very complex. And what I would say to you about writing hypocritical characters is that one thing to keep in mind is that there's a difference between what someone believes with their head and what they believe with their heart. We have two sets of belief systems, one conscious, one unconscious, and it can be very difficult for people to distinguish between the two. Now, of course, none of us actually align completely with what we believe with our heart and what we believe with our head, because everyone is a hypocrite to some degree. I mean, that's the human story, is that we're all flawed, we're all hypocrites, and we don't always live up to be what we should be. However, the discrepancy in some individuals can be so wide that it can be hard to recognize the two. Now, in the story that I'm writing a character named Bertrand Shaw, who is partially based off of the playwright George Bernard Shaw, who was a late 19th century, early, even mid 20th century playwright. He lived a very long time. And he wrote plays basically giving social critiques about life, and he was primarily a left wing intellectual in the sense that he was very skeptical of capitalism and big business and all of that. But in many ways, he was a hypocrite because although he was skeptical of big business and capitalism, in terms of his own personal philosophy and the way he lived his life, he was very much a capitalist. Because there are people who may hate, let's say, big business with their minds, but with their hearts and the way they live their life, they view people as commodifications. They use people. They live hedonistic lifestyles, and they view like the entire world as basically a commodity for them to enjoy. They believe in total, absolute freedom, which are all uh, free market and capitalist values when taken to their extreme. So, so although someone could reject capitalism with their mind, with their heart, they could be very much a capitalist. In fact, perhaps more of a capitalist than people who profess to believe in capitalism with their mouth. And so he's a very Bertrand Shaw is a very complex character for those reasons, because he's a hypocrite with two ideologies, and he can't really seem to bounce the two. And for that reason, he's a very interesting character, and he will probably have the most character growth throughout the story, because and so he's a very interesting character for that reason. So to me, that's how to write a hypocrite, is that make sure that what they believe with their head is very different than what they believe with their heart, and vice versa.